Joe, lower your hand. Teddy!
Some sort of beast has entered our abode.
Gotta knock these bozos' wieners off.
I swear it's not as bad as the name sounds. Or that look.
I bet he deserved it.
From the Great North to Wonder Wharf. All right.
Hello, everybody. Jesus Christ. Hello, everybody. Wow. Welcome to a brand new episode of From the Great North to Wonder Wharf, your one-stop destination for bento box information. As always, I am Mike.
And I'm JB. Hey, everybody.
Everybody. So we're doing the whole dual live thing again. We're live over on Instagram if that's your poison of pleasure. We're also on the YouTube live if you want to do that. Today we're not doing trivia. We're just doing a normal traditional show.
But we are here to totally talk about our upcoming trivia.
What the fuck's going on? Sorry, everybody. My phone wanted to do its own thing there for a second. Yes, we have new trivia to announce. We have some news to go over, some good news, some bad news, but news nonetheless. Sorry, giving folks some opportunity to chime in over here get in on the Instagram here, and for those of you on the YouTube, hello as well. I know we've had a big influx of followers over on Instagram specifically, so if you don't know who we are, my name's Mike, that's JB. Collectively, we are known as From the Great North to Wonder Wharf. We are a bento box entertainment fan show. Some might call us a podcast, but I don't know. Each week, we chime in and we talk about the new episodes. We essentially just sit down and have a conversation about the news, the episodes, anything that we find fun. At least once a month, we like to play Bob's Burgers Trivia. That's who we are. That's what we do. That's really about it. Sorry, I'm pulling up the chat over on the thing.
I should probably pull that up on my.
Hi, Nick. Hello, Homer.
Hey, Nick.
Cool. Hi, Yoko Bongo. That name is very familiar to me. Yokoko Bongo, sorry. That name sounds very familiar to me. I think I remember you from a while back when we used to do the Instagram Live. I believe so. I think so. I don't know. But yes.
How's everybody doing on this lovely Monday? I mean, we have 2 episodes to talk about, plus some news. What do you want to get into first, Mike?
First things first, let's just get into the news. Not a lot of news to discuss, so we'll get that out of the way. Thank you, Yokoko Bongo. You love the lives. We love doing them. For better or worse, we enjoy doing them. Not much in the way of news to discuss, but there is one major bit to talk about. Unfortunately, Central Park, I'm just going to say it, Central Park has been canceled. Central Park on Apple TV. Yeah. There were rumors of a season 4. I know there was listings of it being in production. What I take that to mean is, while it wasn't formally canceled, they didn't know what to do with it, so they were just kind of sitting on it. And the only designation they could give it is, it's in production.
And we've seen this from other shows on Netflix specifically, where you'll get no last season, and they'll just kind of be like Final Space and other places you deserve better, and they just don't happen.
The great thing with Central Park is I feel like each season kind of, you could end the show at any particular point. All 3 of the finales.
That was done on purpose.
Yeah, each finale was its own self-contained thing, and you could have ended it on any season. So I'm glad it wasn't left on a cliffhanger.
And this one kind of resolved its story a little bit with the park and things like that in Bitsy. So it feels it ended, as you said, it ended in a place where it could. But does it deserve better? Would I have loved a season 4? Yeah, I would like to know a little bit more about what the Tonans were up to.
Yeah, and I know there was some folks are going to be quick to say, "Oh, Apple TV screwed this one up," or blah 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 blah.
I did.
Yeah. I didn't want to point fingers, but
you can help me. I don't care.
Yeah. And that's very easy to do and very easy to say is, "Oh, it's Apple's fault." That's not the case, at least not entirely.
No.
You look at that cast. You have Josh Gad, Kristen Bell, Daveed Diggs, Emmy Raver. The list goes on. Stanley Tucci. That cast,
Leslie Odom Jr.
yeah, that show, I wouldn't say fail. It didn't fail, but that show was a victim of its own cast. The cast was too big, too in demand,
Busy.
too busy for that show to maintain. I'm surprised it got 3 seasons, to be completely honest.
Because I mean, if you go through the cast list, we were doing this afternoon. It's like Leslie Odom does his Christmas album, and he's touring. We also have like Daveed Diggs and Emmy are expecting a baby. He's working on a bunch of shows and movies. She still does her stuff with Broadway. Stanley Tucci's in Europe doing his Food Network show and writing a book and promoting his book. Josh Gad's doing Gutenberg.
Yeah, and, along with
I feel like I'm forgetting someone. Oh,
Well-
Kristen Bell. Yeah, she's just in stuff.
they're in production on the new Frozen movie, so
Yep.
her and Gad are going to be locked away
And
for that
Gad.
for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
oh, good.
it's just, yeah. And I mean, I'm going through some of the people we've had on for the show, like the composers. They'll be probably working on Frozen, since that was what they worked on as well. They're also doing the whole Broadway scene. So hopefully everybody lands kind of on their feet from this, because the people who worked on this show were great.
Chelsea's chimes in over on Instagram. She feels like Apple TV has a bunch of good shows, but unless you're watching on Apple TV, you don't know about them. And I completely agree.
I would agree. 100%
Unless
on
you're a show
In
like
the
Ted
know.
Lasso that completely breaks free of that mold and becomes a cultural thing, like big like Ted Lasso, you're not
Yeah.
going to hear about it.
I guess I'd love to pull the audience on both ends here. How many Apple TV commercials for shows have you seen on just cable TV or other platforms? I occasionally see an ad on YouTube, but that's about it.
I have all Apple products, so I mean,
You probably see it all the time.
I'm seeing.
But I only occasionally will get something like for like the foundation or federation or whatever it is. Ted Lasso, I'd get quite a few.
There's some really good shows on there, like
Morning News.
Tom Holland has a show on there where he plays somebody. Well, I don't even know because I've only gotten 2 episodes in, and again, just stopped watching it because I forgot. But and that's not an indictment on the show. That's just me being unable to figure out things. Where he plays like
I mean,
a
they had a
murderer.
movie when Oscar, I think, the Best Picture like 2 years ago or something. Like,
Yeah, they got a lot of star power.
and they put out Killers of the Flower Moon this year and Napoleon. Like, they put out money for these movies, but
I guarantee you, if Apple was doing better, they wouldn't have put those in theater. They're like, you got to come see us to watch it. But since they got nothing because they don't advertise. Coco Bongo wants to know who watches Bob's on Prime Video. Here in the States, we got Hulu for now.
yeah, which
For now.
it's gonna merge with Disney. So
For now, we've got Hulu.
I think you'll see Disney Plus have like its little thing for like 20th century. It'll just go down that list.
Yeah, I am curious as to how it looks overseas, because they already have Bob's and stuff on.
It just comes very, very late, because we did have a comment a couple weeks ago about, does anyone know when this season's going to start hitting over there?
No.
Simon Chong will tell us through Instagram. He'll post it immediately. Like, oh, it's live. Everyone watch it. But
yeah. I am curious as to stuff on Hulu, especially like the FX stuff. Will that translate over to Disney, or will they just sell those shows streaming rights to other services?
That's true.
Like American Horror Story, I don't see being on a Disney Plus.
Nope.
So I could see that getting the rights sold off to somebody else.
Unless they make like, I don't know if it'll be like Disney Plus, and like essentially like if you set it up for your kids, it's just Disney Plus. But if it's like for the adults, it'll have all of it.
Well,
count.
That's how I have mine set up now. Is I have to input a code so I can get stuff like Deadpool or
Same.
all the R-rated stuff. But if that's just a simple little 4 numbers and you're in, I mean, that's like saying, "Are you over 18 to enter this website?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." Boop. Feel like I feel like a lot of people don't watch it on Prime. Yeah, I don't. Is it on Prime? Yo, Coco, are you here stateside? Because I don't I don't recall it being on Prime. But maybe that's just an overseas thing. I don't know.
I'm also curious too, like and maybe we can talk about this at some other point in the show too, the Christopher Nolan argument about physical content and the idea of streaming services taking it away. Bob's no longer makes their stuff on DVDs. So
Well, they haven't made it for what?
10. Yeah,
10 seasons? Or 4 seasons?
Yeah, 4 seasons right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think the money's there, even with the resurgence of like, oh, people want their physical media. Nobody. Let me choose my words wisely here, so I don't have people attacking me. The fan base of Bob's Burgers is very small in the grand scheme of things. They're not going to pump thousands and thousands, millions of dollars to produce all these DVDs that aren't going to get bought. Let's face it. Personally, I would not buy them right now. I would probably wait till the show was completely over and buy like a complete series box set. But I'm not running out right now to buy seasons 1 through 10. I have them on streaming. I'm not getting the physical copies.
Yoko Bongo says they're in California.
Yes. Okay. So do you buy the episodes?
Yeah, because you can buy them on Prime Video.
Yeah. Because we just stream them on Hulu. But are you that way as well? Like right now?
As of right now, like there was a time where I definitely was and would have tons of them, but then it just became a storage issue.
Absolutely. I have hundreds and hundreds of DVDs, Blu-rays, CDs, etc., just sitting in books, like the old books, because I had no place for the cases.
That'll age us, the books. And then like my brother just basically just gets all his on like has essentially what he wants, like his favorites, and comfort movies and things like that. But he's like everything else. He's like I can't.
Yeah. See, so Chelsea brings up a good point. I want to ask you this. I know you're a big collector. Had the seasons continue to come out past 10 in a physical format, would you have kept buying them?
So I like the aesthetically pleasing things. So just like you, when like for instance, when the Steelbook came out for Bob's Burgers, the movie, there wasn't even a question. I literally ordered them and picked them up and brought them to San Diego, so we had them. And I'm the same way with other movies. Like I have a Stanley Kubrick like Blu-ray set that like it's all his movies, and I like it because it's all neat in one thing. So I would love a Bob's box set that like has like a burger, it looks like it when you unfold it, kind of like the albums. When it's packaged like something like that, I definitely want it. But there's also a technicality with the Bob's Burger DVDs is that they're all one color until one season, and then they just go back to it. It's very weird that it's just one, so it's not aesthetically pleasing.
The same thing happened with the Simpsons box sets. Is they were fine, and then they got to the hard plastic covers, and then they got shapes. And it kind of fucked everything up for everybody.
Shapes messed everything up.
Yeah.
Then they made them like look like people's heads.
Yeah.
And it's like this would have been a good idea, like in the first, if you're gonna do all the way through.
Well, I would say if you're doing that, at least release like a standard edition as well. But the question was, if they released them past season 10, they kept going, would you buy them?
I probably would.
Now, let's say you bought all of those, and then the series ended. And then they released one giant box set with all the same DVDs, but a couple of new extra features. Would you then double dip on a probably $150, $200 box set for all the stuff you already have and a couple of brand new things?
It would depend what it is.
Such as, what would make you double dip? You're not getting extra packaging.
So the double dip, I think the only time I've ever double dipped was on the Lost sets. So I really loved Lost. And they came out with like the basic DVDs, but then they came out with like the Blu-ray special edition with all the extra stuff and all the things. So I slowly found them on eBay and would sell off my DVD and get the Blu-ray.
So then let me ask you this. You have, let's just say they're just DVDs. There's no Blu-ray.
Yep.
You bought seasons 1 through, let's just say 20. Let's just say the show goes to 20. They then announce, releasing a complete series box set, all 20 seasons of what you already own, plus one DVD of Bob's Burgers Live.
Yeah.
Just one extra DVD for $200.
I probably would if I could find it other ways, or if they just did it on their own. I probably would just do it that way. But no, that's a hard sell. $200.
Yeah, $200 for the complete 20 seasons. That's $10 a season, plus one 2-hour DVD of a live thing. No special behind the scenes. No extra. Just one show of Bob's Live.
Hmm,
Could you justify that?
that's tough. Well, when you break it down to for just $10 a season,
$10 a season.
that's 50 cents an episode. Not even. It's like 48. You two could have this. I don't know.
But
I think if you make it something like that, yeah, you could. You could justify it. But in
there's
in
no
one
way I could.
sitting, though, I think it's hard to do that.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way I could justify going like, oh, you get this and a special little extra toy that you'll probably be able to find online.
Well, I mean, this
Honest.
goes for video games too. Certain video games have these massive boxes, like the PlayStations and the Xbox Ones, that are like, oh, this shell's just for this game. Or like the Firefly Last of Us box set that's like $150 with stuff in it, but like,
Mhm.
do you need
Yeah,
it?
if it came with stuff, like I have the Batman 66 series complete series on Blu-ray. I also have it streaming, but this one came with like a die-cast car, playing cards, placards, the whole 9 yards. So it came with a bunch of
Mhm.
extra bonus stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have the Tears for the Kingdom Switch special collector's edition box that has like the box, the plaque, the figure, the keychain, the art book, the soundtrack. It came with all of it.
Yeah, now
And it's
that makes
like,
sense.
that's fine because you get a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I guess it does become difficult to justify for a 2-hour thing. Yeah, it does feel like an interrogation, Abby. I feel like I'm
I just
literally
because as a collector myself of hold on, your Coco Bongo, you can find them on Macari or
yes.
eBay. Or
What are they looking for?
Funko Pops. The OG ones, eBay or Macari, but you're gonna pay an arm and a leg for them. The newer ones for the Bob's Burgers movie, you can find those easily anywhere because
Yeah.
those aren't expensive.
Amazon was even running one on the cart for $12.
Yeah, it actually might still be on sale. So check there. Oh yeah, for sure. No, because I am curious. As a collector myself, I have double and triple dipped on things before, just because, ooh, shiny new case, and maybe one or two extra bonus features. I stopped myself short of doing that this past year because Rob Zombie released a 20th or 25th anniversary of House of a Thousand Corpses, and it came with an additional audio commentary track. And I was like, oh, I fucking love audio commentary tracks, and I love Rob Zombie behind the scenes stuff. But I couldn't justify pulling the trigger on $30 for a steelbook, and I was like, do I need it? But then,
Do I need it? Yeah.
it didn't come with anything else except for like two extra bonus features. I'm like, but
There's always, I mean, we just sent someone to Macari or eBay. There is that too, where it's like, if I wait long enough, someone may get rid of it at a price I can get it at.
I'm also too lazy to get up and put a disc in. I've been spoiled.
Wow.
I've been spoiled. I got it on streaming. I have the ability to watch the physical media. I got the freaking we call it PlayStation 5. I got the disc version because my wife loves me, I guess.
I wouldn't even hesitate. It would have to be the disc for me. I can't do the digital. I want to have the cartridges. I want to have the discs. I want for games. I think it's different. For games, I have to have it.
Nah, me, I'm a digital boy, and there's always like, well, they can delete them off the server and blah 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 blah. Like, I don't give a shit. I hardly buy games anymore because of all the free stuff that's available through either Xbox Game Pass or the PlayStation Network. All that stuff keeps me occupied for a billion hours. I'll die before I get through all of it.
I guess I'm just a Nintendo kid. I have all the Switch physicals, unless it's a game that's like, oh, this is like $300. I'm like, no.
The Switch is different though. Switches are like this big.
Yeah,
that's a little different. Whereas here, I'm looking at a freaking CD. But then even then, that might speak more to the game, the quality of games that are coming out, that I don't feel the need to run out and get every little thing too. So
That's true.
yeah.
We got way off topic.
Yeah, wait, now the part don't start till you walk. What the hell are you talking about, Bob?
I think the party, I think, is what he meant to say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I don't know how we got there. Central Park's been canceled.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
sorry guys.
We love the show. We hope to get some of the folks on here to talk more about it. We've had folks in the past come on here, directors and writers and composers and stuff like that.
Because that's a show that, like, I think we will see how this plays out. Like, will it ever get a physical release? Probably never. So
No, not from Apple TV.
you'll basically just have to boot. Someone will boot it.
Only their big shows get releases. Ted Lasso. I think the morning show's getting one. Napoleon. But yeah, Central Park, nobody even knew it was there, so there's no way they're going to waste some money to put it on physical.
Sad.
Yeah.
No soundtracks either. The music is incredible.
Yeah, you can get it on streaming
Spotify.
platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, but no dice on a physical thing. Sucks. You all should have watched it more. That's on y'all. Me and JB watched it. Y'all should have watched it. Sorry, I didn't.
It's no shame. It's no shame.
Sorry. I just never watched it until you all talked about Shell Songs.
Yeah, I know that happens.
Well, it's because nobody knew about it. Nobody was.
Yeah,
talking about it.
we
Except
heard
us. We talked about it.
we heard about. Someone told us who worked on the show that Josh Gad saw the commercial that came out like 3 years ago or 2 years ago for animation on Apple, and he was like, "Ooh, this seems exciting," and sat there and watched it, and they showed zero.
Oh yeah, I saw the same
Central Park
commercial.
clips. Zero. They showed Snoopy and like some other stuff. And literally he said he was so devastated that he like called Lauren Bouchard and said, like, did you see the commercial? Because like we're not on it.
Nope.
And yep, they're in the same boat. They're like, I don't get it.
What's fucking stupid is they show the Apple TV commercials on Apple TV.
Yep.
So like you're already playing to your audience. We know what's there and what's not there. I mean,
Sounds like
Bobbis
Insider
never
Nerd.
watched it. Okay, so Bobbis never watched it. I love the
That's
song
great.
I Did Not Account for This, which is great because that's probably my favorite song from the entire series, Bobbis. So good taste.
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's some other ones, but that's a good one.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a Central Park
Hawking,
retrospective.
Yeah.
Now that the show is sadly canceled.
It's time for me to make a physical rendition of a soundtrack.
That's illegal.
It is, I know.
That's illegal, JB. Don't do that. Don't say it out loud.
Central Park.
Not if all the show isn't as bad as any other show in the cartoon community. What? Not our fault that the show isn't as bad as any other show in the cartoon community. No, it wasn't as big because it was on a streaming platform. They didn't give it the time of day.
No,
That's all that
and
was.
I mean, you even see this on Netflix. Netflix does this all the time.
I mean, they even axe their popular shows. But yeah, it's
Yeah, they do.
I'd say the only. No, I wouldn't place any blame on the. There's no blame to be placed on the fans. It's strictly on the advertising. And when you have, and I hate to put the blame anywhere, but nobody's advertising. Nobody on the show. Like Josh Gad said some things about the show. Leslie Odom chimed in a bit, but I didn't see Kristen Bell doing anything for the show. I didn't see anybody else advertising their own show.
Not Stanley Tucci, so
Stanley Tucci didn't even put anything out, and not for nothing, but you can't rely on Apple TV, who's notoriously not going to advertise their own stuff unless it's an iPhone or Ted Lasso, to pimp your own show. You need to. The fan sites like us and all the fans on Instagram and Twitter can only do so much. Have a big enough following. So I don't.
If only.
It's just so fucking frustrating to see such a great show just unceremoniously. And we had to find out because somebody
Tweeted.
in a
Or no,
not even on
message.
Threads. Yeah.
Message on Instagram Live. And somehow got Josh Gad, which is
no. It was on Threads.
Okay.
It's on Threads. And they threaded, or whatever the hell it's called, Josh Gad asking him any news on season 4. And that's the only way we found out about it getting canceled, is because Josh decided to answer somebody's questions. Apple didn't say anything. Nobody said anything. So that's how we found out. So, it is what it is. On to the next one.
Yep.
Um,
So Toddland Christmas merch will be starting to ship out. And on another note,
yes.
and now
Happier
to something completely different.
Yes. The Toddland Christmas merchandise. They should be shipping here really soon.
Within the
Um,
next day or so.
Yeah, I
Hopefully.
know Toddland has their elves hard at work on getting the stuff out. If you're waiting on the Santa like we are, excuse me, those should be going out. I would say by the end of the week.
Mhm.
If we hear anything different, we'll let you all know. But yeah, along with all the other Christmas stuff that they have, which you can still order now. Hopefully, get it in time for Christmas. I would think so. It's only December 4th. So I don't know when the cutoff is to get it for Christmas, but just order it now.
Curious
It's not
now if there's
procrastinating.
anything that's sold out currently.
I don't know. I didn't look past me ordering my own stuff because I'm
Same.
selfish. But I think a lot of the T-shirts are gone. In fact, I'm 99% sure the T-shirts are gone.
Yeah, I'm
think
pretty sure those
Santa's-
all went.
I'm pretty sure there's a couple Santas left, and the pins are still good, but the shirts tend to go first. So, hey, Itai, sorry, and Coquito, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. They said that Toddland sent out their holiday shirts today. Still waiting on the Santa though. All right, cool. So, did you do the shirt order and the Santa order separately? Am I picking up what you're putting down? Itai. Okay, bet. Thank you. Thank you for
So
that.
it looks like all the pins are still available, all the shirts are gone, and Santa remains.
Bet. Okay. Okay, so they ordered it separately, so they got the confirmation for the shirts, but not the Santa yet. Okay, good to go. Thank you for that. And thank you for the correct pronunciation. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, get your Thailand stuff now. And stay tuned to our Instagram page. Starting tomorrow, JB and I will be doing our annual From North to Wharf Advent calendar. We're already a couple days late, but each day we'll be revealing a brand new, either you may have never seen this thing from Bob's Burgers, whether it be behind the scenes stuff that we get directly from folks in the know, or a cool gift that you can get the Bob's Burgers fan in your life. So, we will start that tomorrow with our first secret, but you'll have to check out the page to figure out what that is. It'll go up whenever we remember to put it up, but sometime tomorrow. Promise.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying sometime we'll get it up.
Yeah, we'll get around to it.
We try to get it up in lunchtime around like noon to 2. It's kind of that window.
And when we say noon to 2, we mean East Coast time because that's where we are. If you're not in our time frame, tough. It'll be up there forever. You can check it out when you can check it out. But we appreciate you. Any more news, JB?
I believe we have one more episode before the holiday break for Bob's. I think it airs December 17th. I think we won't get one on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
So pretty sure that's where we're going to get our break because that's all they have listed right now is up to season or episode 10, which is the Nightmare 2 days before Christmas, which is our Christmas episode.
Okay, yeah, I got to figure if there are any more episodes coming up after that, we'll hear about it this week.
And when those pictures go up for Nightmare, we'll go ahead and make sure you guys get it.
Yes, we'll put those up immediately as well. But speaking of episodes, we had 2 new episodes this week, Crapopolis and Bob's Burgers. Per our usual routine, we will cover Crapopolis first. JB, remind me what this episode was about.
So let me go ahead and get the episode title for everybody.
Here's what I do remember while JB is doing that. I remember the son, and for those of you who are new to the North to Wharf world, I don't remember character names. It's my fault. It is my cross to bear. So be it.
He can't.
The son, Tyrannus, is hanging out with his dad, who's the Scorpion King.
Schlub.
It turns out he has a scorpion tail as well. There's a Pegasus.
As a kid.
Yeah, there's Pegasus with a Cyclops is riding.
Gigantus. Or Stupendous, sorry.
Oh, JB. Watch an episode, man. Stupendous is riding. Don't really know how that resolved itself,
With
but a
Hippo.
lot going on. Yeah, Hippo was there. Don't know how that resolved itself. JB can fill me in on that.
I will do that.
forgot. You good?
That was Mike's interpretation of the episode.
Hey. Oh, you.
Yep, did it.
I learned how to do stuff. Yeah.
No, that's my goal, is to make you do it at some point in the episode without realizing that's what's happening.
My friend Kylie taught me how to do that, and in fact, shout out to Kylie. She is currently getting married over in India, and that's where my wife's at right now. I'm here
Oh,
stateside.
very cool.
Yeah.
Probably the best food of the world, right there.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm gonna lean towards Mexican myself. I just love Mexican food.
Indian food is so good. All right, let's go over this episode.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I nailed it. But yeah, you tell me what it will.
You nailed most of the big points. You did. You gave the highlight, like ESPN highlight reel.
There's a unicorn story. I thought it was Pegasus.
It's a Pegasus and unicorn horse. We'll get to that.
Okay.
The whole thing.
Okay.
So this is Ty's Telltale. And yes, it started off, as Mike said, with Tyrannus
Nailed it.
going to see Schlub's father, who was, it looks like, murdered by a mob, and is being picked apart and spit on and all kinds of things. And because
I do remember them talking about burying somebody. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Persia is where they go. So he's like, "Are we technically Persian?" And he's like, "I don't like races. You humans should stop doing that."
Yeah, race is a construct. I remember hearing that too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he made a joke about it, that we should just stop doing it. Then he also talked about monsters aren't loved, so a lot of times there's curses, which there was a curse put on Tyrannus before he was born.
His tail.
Mm-hmm. The tail. Yep.
What are these two dots? Putting them together. All right.
Yep. So yep, the tail happens because he was hexed to be normal and not a monster, and once it was reversed, he now has a tail. The tail also has an evil side to it, and turns Tyrannus into an evil, fighting, kind of like power-hungry king.
I remember that bit too. So he was, the hex was to make him normal, not to turn him into a monster?
Yep. Not to turn a monster, because when they're a monster, they're evil and do whatever they want, and they're power-hungry. So they're like, I just want them to be a weak human.
So the monster was the preferable form.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Yeah. So Schlub said, I've been nothing like my father. That's why I'm the parent I am to you. And Tyrannus doesn't get it until Schlub pulls his tail and says, I did this out of love.
Mm-hmm.
And makes him normal again.
Okay.
We did have our first singing number. Like big time singy song number. And
I do recall that. Was that little rock song with that guy you like so much?
Yes. Richard Ayoade.
Yes.
The other plot was Stupendous and Hippocampus, being jealous that Deliria and Schlub have Pegasus milk in the morning.
Okay.
Because it's special. Okay. So they follow Deliria out to see where it is, steal it from the stall, break it free, find out that they can't control it. They also don't know that it is a queen, and there is a hive of unicorns that the Pegasus basically creates. It's almost like an alien situation. They take humans, put them encased in a honeycomb, and when the babies grow and come out, they eat the human.
So a Pegasus makes a unicorn?
Yes.
Or is a unicorn a baby Pegasus?
Essentially, yeah. It's a baby Pegasus.
Oh, shit.
And,
okay.
Yeah, and the Pegasus is the queen, so it's the only one that lays eggs. And it was all about stopping the life cycle. Otherwise, they become horrible, evil, human-killing, hunting creatures. So then Deliria tries to save the day by putting snakes out in the village, but finds out that snakes also don't like humans, so it kills half the village. But also kills them as well. And then she fights the Pegasus, weakens it, and then brings it back for milk. And that's it. That's all she wrote.
Okay. I remember
some of that.
Some of this. It seems like a fever dream. But I remember some of it. I also, again, I got busy. Okay, people, it is what it is. I don't remember being like immediately drawn back and like, oh wait, what's going on? That sounds like it's something fun's happening. So for me, somebody who was half paying attention, it wasn't interesting enough to grab my attention, but I don't know if it was bad or just me being a bad fan.
It's just Mike being Mike.
Fuck. Okay. All right. That's fair
Because
enough.
I agree with Abby. I really enjoyed the Unicorn Pegasus storyline. I think it was funny. It was fun.
Mhm.
Hippo and Stupendous' dynamic is let's get in trouble, but then like, oh, we don't know what to do once we're in it.
Mhm.
And I like that.
So I got to go back and watch it again.
And also the other plot with Schlub and Tyrannus, it was wholesome.
Okay.
It's kind of like,
Okay.
yeah, my life was traumatic, but as a parent, I'm doing everything I can to make sure that yours isn't, or as much
Yeah.
as I can to help
Yeah.
you.
All you kids out there, and this is coming from somebody who doesn't know what he's talking about.
This is
All you,
Mike's sentimental moment.
all you kids out there, your parents don't know what they're doing either. We're all just
Mhm.
figuring out as we go along. So cut them some slack.
Remember, Mike got hit by a car.
I got hit by
The
a
more you
car.
know. The more you know.
We're letting you know. Get over it. I hate that I'm going to have to go back to YouTube so I can communicate with Abby. No, Chelsems, you're good. Abby, Chelsems doesn't want to talk to you.
Mike just starting stuff up again. It's not important.
Her words, not mine. I don't know what to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what she's on about, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So what would you rank this episode? I can't give it a proper ranking without.
I generally like this one a little bit better than some of the last ones. So
Okay.
for me, it's a little bit higher than probably the last, like one, maybe two.
I will say the last couple of episodes have been middle of the road for me. So
Like two or three, I think it's like they've been good, but
Mhm.
they've been kind of like middle of the road. They're not like the first couple where I was like, this is great.
Okay.
This is where I feel like it kind of was getting there again.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll definitely check it out again.
The next episode, it's December 17th as well. It's called Tydra. So that'll be the next one. And then it looks like they're on a break as well because that's all we got.
Take it down a notch, Abby.
Well played, Abby.
All right, that brings us to our bread and butter. And this episode I've seen 3 times. Bob's Burgers.
Bob Burger.
Voice cracking. Jesus Christ.
Bob Burger.
Burger.
Bob Burger. It's the Fraud of the Dead. The zombie docu-apocalypse.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
Give me a 1-word review, then we'll get into all of it.
Medium.
Yeah. And that only we get that joke, everybody, because y'all are new.
I mean, Bob is saying it in his own way, but
medium. Or
medium.
meet Saya.
Yeah, this is one of those episodes.
Oh, it was so good. I can go on for ages. You go ahead and go first.
So I've seen this one twice already.
Okay. Not as big a fan as me, but okay.
Most of you, when we do this, I'm watching it once, and that's kind of it. Mm-hmm. I went and watched this twice because it's just done so well. It's so pretty, and then like it's movie quality, but also they downgraded it and put that nice like VHS filter on it to make it look like a campy Blair Witch. And that old like Dawn of the Dead vibe, like it's just so good. And they weren't afraid to do stuff and to be goofy. Some of the plot where Louise is like, I'm a fraud, like it's a little weird and out of place, but also that's kind of campy because then they're like, but then they got to find out how to make it work for them and save the day. But poor Rudy.
No. Rudy.
And I have to say again, Brian Husky destroying it again this season with another awesome bit in the episode.
I really enjoyed this. In fact, at 9 a.m. this morning, I texted you and Adam, and I was like, I'm 5 minutes into this episode, and I absolutely love it.
Same.
I unabashedly love, no hesitation, I love found footage horror films. Blair Witch Project is one of my favorite movies of all time. Cloverfield, Mungo Lake, the list can go on. I love found footage. So to give a found footage horror twist to Bob's Burgers is chef's kiss, and they do it so well. I think it was fairly obvious the way the story was going, what the end was going to be.
Hmm.
Now, the only question I do have, and I'll get to this a little later, and we can dive deeper into it, is why they made the movie. Maybe I missed
Yeah.
the reasoning.
No,
But yeah, okay, good.
they didn't
Okay.
really go over it.
Okay, good. Yeah, but 2 seconds in, you knew this was just a project they were doing. If it wasn't very apparent when we posted the photos on our Instagram, you could see that Teddy was painted up, and you could see his
Yeah.
skin. So we
I
knew it was
thought it
some
was a
kind of
school project, or
yeah.
like the interesting part was the end that you knew like it wasn't Tina's thing. Louise came up with this. This is basically Meat Man. This is her second film in a series of amazing just stop motion to now horror.
Mhm.
Like Louise is a double threat.
Now I am curious because in the past we've always talked about episodes we wanted to pitch or X, Y, and Z. And one of my ideas was Louise making another film. Now her film was a Hawk and Chick film, and this one was obviously a zombie film. Um, and I'm not saying that the powers that be heard that and just made their own spin on it, but
Yeah.
you could say that if you'd like.
You
I would
can.
back
You
that
could
up.
also say that Mike's in the movie in the Carniopolis because there's one guy with 3-star tattoos. You could say that
So
every bearded character in the show is just me. We could all do that.
prove us wrong, jerks. Prove us wrong.
I know I'm wrong, but prove him wrong. Good
You
luck.
can't. You can't.
My mind's made up.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So, man, they didn't credit you in the movie. It was like a favor I did Chelsea's. I didn't really want to address it, but JB brought it up, so that's on him, not me.
Yeah, it's just like table reads. You don't bring
yeah.
them up at the show.
Again, brought it up, but 2, whatever. But yeah, absolutely love this episode. I like how they incorporated the fact that Luis couldn't pull the bow back and made that into the story plot, as opposed to just
saying, I liked Bob's comment, although I
don't
don't
know
think
what he
many
said.
people knew that they didn't adjust the draw weight on Luis's bow. No one, unless someone who knows bows, is going to do that.
Oh, yeah, and for what it's worth, Luis seems like the type of person who would just pull it right out of the box and try to start using it without reading the instructions.
Yeah, or threw him away.
Yeah. I am humble. Thank you, Chelseams.
So humble.
Thank you. What's going on? Oh, Homer, we're talking about this particular episode right now. So, really dug it. I loved the jump scare at the end. With Rudy screaming.
That was good.
I've seen a lot of folks seeing like, oh, this should have been the Halloween episode. This should have showed this in October. Yada 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 yada. Sometimes those decisions are out of their hands. Sometimes episodes have to get shown when they get shown. It's not always up to the show when episodes will air.
Sometimes it's a production thing.
Yeah, so just take that for what it's worth. We don't know all the details of why things are shown when they're shown. But let's just be happy we got a spooky episode. And
it is good.
It's
one
so good.
plot, no B, ran right with the whole family, and involved the neighbors, which I do enjoy the episodes of Bob's Burgers where everyone's kind of involved.
I didn't like not that I didn't like the ending, but I wish the ending would have been the premiere where we cut back to the restaurant and everybody there instead of the family just watching the movie, because like everybody got involved. Like Bob played multiple roles.
I think it would have been
Teddy
cooler if it
Moore.
was like a restaurant shut down like Hawk and Chick.
Yeah. Like who was doing the makeup? That makeup was getting done so.
I really was hoping there was a splice to like Randy literally be like, well, I'm gonna quit, and be like, fine, you're a hack, and like Louise was doing it herself.
For a second, I thought that because there was a zombie out there who's played by Bob who had a hat on and he had little
Look like
coat on.
Randy.
And I thought maybe that was Randy with just a mustache and long hair, but then I realized, oh, the camera doesn't pan to see Bob and that
Maybe
zombie at the
that's
same time.
yeah, but maybe that's a joke.
Maybe.
Is that Bob's like just kill Randy?
Well, they had maybe he dressed up as Randy, but kudos to Bob and Linda for playing multiple roles.
Also, Bob and Linda committed because they're like, we probably should take the tables off, and they're like, that's just a lot of work.
That's my only nitpick.
We have to, I guess we have to.
That's my only nitpick. And Bob is, I agree. I love Jimmy not being able to sway, but really dancing the whole time. Not really be doing the zombie sway.
I would have loved to see a zombie Zeke, but the Rudy bits were good enough. And Andy and Ollie got a little bit of love. They usually don't get a lot. I did love that the camera panned right over, and they're like, "Oh, I heard you got bit. Just promise you'll bite me first. We'll just say it was a construction accident."
Well, Universal Bob allow the restaurant to be door. Now, here's my only gripe. We've seen the family act before.
Yes,
They're not good at
theater, all that. Like this is a big jump for Tina from Murder or Crematorium and all that.
Yeah, they're not good actors. Here, they sell the part. They're committed to the bit. This isn't for a school project, as far as we know. This is just a vanity thing that Luis is doing.
Yeah, this is like Meat. This is Meat Man again.
Yeah, this is Meat Man. This isn't a Super Bowl commercial. This isn't anything. So why are they all of a sudden good actors? I would have loved it if their non-acting abilities had come through, or if Linda tried to sing. But I mean, they all committed to the bit, so good on them, I suppose.
I mean, those all could have been interesting little things where like the camera cuts for a second and like you see them be like, "Mom, don't sing anymore. Action," and just like go again. It could have broken up, but it also would, I guess, taken away the seriousness of what was on the screen because it was a good little jump scare movie.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and the mustard being on everything creeped me out, but go ahead.
Okay, we'll get into
I'm
that
not
in
into
a
mustard
second.
though. I like mustard on sandwiches, but when Gene's just like, I don't really feel like I have any mustard on me, like, oh, that's just staining everything. And it's just
Okay, fair enough. Going back and just contradicting my own little gripe with it, this was an edited film, so it makes sense that any of those other bits would have been cut out. So I rescind my complaint there. But yeah, I would like to know why they made the movie. But no, all in all, I really enjoyed the episode. The found footage aspect, the zombie aspect, Tina falling in love with Jimmy Jr. the zombie. Not enough butt love from Tina, if for being honest.
It's toned. It's a little bit better. Also, Tina almost getting killed by the fire escape steps.
Oh yeah, thank you for warning me after the fact. Yeah, or after it happened. Yeah. Highlight of the episode for me is when Louise started singing. She does her own little song, and then she hits a high note, and then Tina's like, "Ah, stop!" or whatever she does, and Louise like, "Oh yeah, sorry, forgot." And then Gene beatboxing.
And Gene's just kind of lay down a beat.
So yeah, this is probably the episode of the season for me so far.
Real quick.
Yes.
Gene in this episode was perfect and done the way that Gene is supposed to be done.
Yes.
Like Gene was a great side character, had his roles, had his jokes, like TMZ, too much zombie. And also his joke where Louis is like, yeah, it's probably like all my fault. He's like, well, yeah, it is. Completely is like, yeah, you killed everybody. Probably should have told everyone that downstairs before they all died for you.
I like that TMZ is now canon in the Bob's world. I love the part that Mort had a real brain as part of his makeup. Yeah, I like to think he took that from one of his corpses.
Same.
Yeah, he knows that about it. Yeah, exactly, Bob's. But yeah, this is hands down, no question about it, my favorite episode of the season so far.
Same.
Sorry, I'm getting text notifications. Okay.
Now, could you argue that? Could you piece together a movie, and maybe you can figure this out somehow, of Escape from Witch Island and the infection beginning there and coming back to Ocean Avenue.
I gotta say, you can. You got
I think it's arguable you could say that.
Did we get a
'Cause it's
you
almost
have
like
to
28 days later. It just like someone gets bit and then it just starts.
Yeah, so they come back from the island. That dude's still a little tripping,
Yep.
and he bites somebody. And then from there, we get the zombies.
I'm gonna assume probably Teddy fixing one of their properties.
Bobbus, make it happen.
You could even have Teddy. He has a bite mark on his hand from that Halloween episode.
But we know where that one. Oh no, we know where that came from, right?
If it's edited well, you won't.
Oh, Bobbus, you better edit it well, otherwise we'll call you on it. Let's try. I'm done with trailers. Okay, yeah, bet.
That's okay. I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh, they could connect this if they wanted to.
Oh, easily. If not, maybe a Half Brain podcast could make their own little connective tissues to that.
I guess, would anyone have complained if this was a 2-part episode like The Bleakening, but it was like scary?
Yes.
Version? I think it'd be fun.
No. Yeah, no, I would complain. Yeah, no, I'd complain.
Really? You wouldn't want more?
No, I'd want more, but I don't want to wait for part 2. It's like either give me an hour long episode.
I want it now.
Yeah, I just want it now. I'd love an hour long episode of it. I'd love the entire movie, even though I think we saw the entirety of the movie.
But I'm just wondering if you had an hour or 40 minutes, what could you accomplish?
That's the other thing is I don't know. You could stretch this out to an hour because we saw everything that they filmed and it was edited down. Hey! Congratulations. I won't take away from what you guys got going on there. Also, tell Tanae I say hi. I know you're with her.
Oh,
so.
Congrats.
Enjoy
the food.
And
Sure,
sincerely sorry that I couldn't be there. But yeah, there's if you did an hour-long episode of that, I don't think you could stretch it out. It would get too bogged down and boring, and there'd be too much filler. I think what we had now was perfect.
That's fair.
And I don't think, let's say this was an actually filmed movie. I don't think they filmed anymore because they seem to have gotten A to B to C and gotten to their resolution. And it doesn't seem like anything was cut out. It seemed good. But I am curious as to who did the special effects, who did the makeup. Hey, all the way from India. Ooh, international fan.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. We need you to stay there long enough for us to get the numbers. So stay there. Thank you.
Get everyone there.
Yeah. On their own phones, though, we need the numbers.
Just turn it on and then put it down.
Yeah, we need numbers, everybody. But yeah, it'd be like wait, besides it should be either in a story format or a dream. Okay, thank you, Kylie.
Yeah, Bobbus, you might be right about that. The second half of it being kind of like the Blade Runner. I really just wanted them to continue Blade Runner, but instead they went and did all the other stuff.
I didn't. You hold on. Just to break here for a second. I'm treating this, or I feel like I'm in the office, like, so this is my camera. And then whenever I have to like pull a gym or something, I look over here, like, I don't agree with what they said. I think that's dumb. So like stuff like that.
He's a liar. He's probably telling the truth.
Breaking the fourth wall. But yeah, I don't think this should have been an hour-long episode. There's not enough story there.
Probably not.
They would have to write so much more. If it was not just the film, but the film and real life happening at the same time,
making of.
Yeah, then I could see that. But definitely not an hour just for this episode. But yeah, no, easily the best episode of the season, at least for me. I loved it.
Same. That's why I threw out the medium. It's the perfect burger temp.
Absolutely. So then that leads me to my next question for you. We're halfway done through the season now. We think. We still haven't gotten a final episode count, but we think we're about halfway done. Oh, excuse me. How well do you think this season has gone on so far?
So compared to, cream of the crop, people say the best seasons are either at the very beginning or like 5 through 8. or like there's little pockets of like 3 seasons of people like these are like the best of the Belchers.
But those people would be wrong.
There's a lot of other seasons that are good. And actually rewatching some seasons that you're like, I didn't really care for this that much, you will find moments that you're like, okay, this is pretty okay. This is good. This season, I will say, has taken a lot of like liberty to try new things, and I think it has paid off for them. I think it's opened up being a little weird like it used to be, being a little more not as edgy as seasons 1 through 3, but allowing it to happen. You trying again? You
No,
trying to
you
do
gave
that?
a thumbs up and then it did something.
Who did?
No, like a thumbs up popped on the screen.
No, didn't
If
happen.
Kylie was here, she'd tell me what to do.
No,
Shit. All right.
Mike's crazy. Yep, and they're breaking the fourth wall. I saw that. So I would say this season has taken a lot of chances, and it's really paid off for them. I've enjoyed it. It's weird again. It's really kind of quirky again. It's a little more just all over the place sometimes again, like it used to be. And there's a little more chaos, which I think helps the Belchers kind of have things. There's also been some good, they've sprinkled good moments in there too, like some impactful things. So I think overall this season has done a lot that's been positive.
I think it's definitely picked up where season 13 started. Not in the beginning of the season, but like you had the
Oh, that
heavy
pocket.
episodes. Yeah, like you
There's
have
that
the
pocket of there's like 3 or 4 episodes right in the middle that are like really good.
yeah, you have like the heavy episodes, like the one where the Nazi almost kills the woman. So you have like
Mhm.
out of pocket episodes like that. So in this season, you got like the Rudy episode, which kind of encompasses the same. It ain't about the Belchers, but this is still a Bob's Burger story. Um, oh my God, so many things going on. Oh, to chime in on the Bob's thing right here, it says they could have brought it into the town, bro. There was so much story. No, because where would they have gone? The school, the wharf, maybe. But I mean, they barricaded themselves in the restaurant, so they weren't going to leave.
Mhm.
Um, only thinks there's 4 good episodes. Homer, what you on about? Unless season 14 of Bob's Burgers would resume on February 25th that next month. That seems like a half idea. There was there more to that? First 2 episodes of this season knocked it out of the park. The first season for me, or the first episode for me, was fine.
It was good. I feel like as a
Yeah.
premiere, it's one of the more definitely well thought out episodes, and actually showed. I think it showed kind of what quality of like animation and stuff we were going to get.
Well, quality wise, it was top
Out
of the
of the
pops,
park.
top notch. Story wise, I felt it wasn't my favorite, but it was fine. Um, there were we've only had what 8 episodes at this point. I think this season
9.
right now 9. I
We'll
think
have
this
10
season
next
right.
week.
Okay, I think this season right now is not bad, but it's not great either. I would say it's a little better than middle of the road. I think there are more hits than misses, but I think overall it's a strong season. Um, but at the same point, I'd say maybe there are 2 or 3 episodes that I would say, oh, you need to watch these. The other ones,
Mhm.
they're fine. Not bad. They're fine.
Which 3 you got? The
Definitely this
zombie
one.
one,
I'm sorry.
Rudy,
The
zombie, and
Rudy,
Rudy,
yeah, Zombie, Rudy.
bully.
Um,
Oh,
yes,
Jimmy.
the Zeke one I thought was really good too. Well, the first 22 minutes of the episode were good. The last 3
The
minutes,
poker
no,
wall.
thank,
Yeah, you don't want anything to do with
no,
that.
thank you, none of that. What? How do you know that? How do you know that, Homer? Because again, if you're just guessing, you need to say you're guessing. Can't just have you saying stuff and then backing out whenever I question you about it. We
If that's the case, that's great, but we just want to make sure.
yeah. So if you know, say you know, and let
Mhm.
us know. Wow.
Yeah, because that guessing. Okay. I mean, we would hope, but we always just want to confirm it first.
Thank you, Chelseams. Yes, please say you're guessing. Because again, your comments make it sound like you know something. But if you're guessing, then let us know you're guessing.
But the next one we'll have is Nightmare 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah,
So
I am.
opposite
We
of
don't. Do we
holiday.
have a synopsis for that yet?
Let's see. When the power goes out 2 days before Christmas, the Belchers must spend the holiday at Mr. Fishoder's family's old hunting lodge.
Okay. Also, we haven't. This is a new
New location.
new location. I wonder if it's on the grounds or if it's
It's a hunting lodge. I expect it'd be out of town.
unless it's not hunting animals. And it's, but not like hunting people in the sense like the water balloon fight.
Do you think it'll be on
Like,
like Witch Island kind of thing?
maybe, but then yeah.
It might be somewhere on the estate grounds somewhere.
Sorry.
Hearing stuff.
Well, the other night there were gunshots. Just making sure.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Good old Tallahassee.
Um,
I would hope that we're gonna probably get some background on the fish odors here. Papa Fish Odor, maybe Mom Fish Odor. Maybe see a picture of her.
I
This is their
wonder.
old hunting lodge, so I would expect that Calvin's had some memories here if he's kept it.
I do wonder if they're going to set the Belchers up in their hunting lodge, and like Calvin will be like, you know, I'm just going to stay here with you guys. I'm going to hang out, and we'll tell stories and regale you of the fish odor history. Because maybe
That would
there's
be
like
cool with me.
there's like a giant family portrait painted over like a fireplace or something. They're like, oh, that's Papa Fish Odor. Let me tell you about him.
So this is 2 days before Christmas, so we're gonna get like this is not Christmas Eve, so there's nothing like that where the kids won't have their presents or stuff. It might just be more like, what if it? I'm also okay if there was a hidden Christmas present.
Oh, like maybe one they hadn't found like as children.
Yep. That their
Oh,
dad hid for them, and they find it maybe in the walls or the rafters or something. And Calvin, it's some sentimental thing.
no, you know he'd find it and be like, I wonder how much I can get for this now.
Yeah, but he has a soft spot for his papa.
Oh man, I'd hope not. I am so uninterested in Calvin's life. What?
What?
Bobbis?
He's the most interesting character. He's the most interesting man.
Bobbis says like 3 cool things and then takes one giant leap back with a dud like that. Boo to you, Bobbis.
Yeah, we were very hungry for the lore.
Yes, we're like the game theorists. Yeah, we're talking about Bob's right now, Homer. Talking about Bob's.
So the power.
Yes.
How does Mr. Fishoder give them the hunting lodge?
How does he give it to him? Oh, I gotta figure the power.
Power goes out. That means, I mean, yeah, maybe the heat's out.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I have an idea. I think the
Yes?
power goes out due to Calvin not doing something, and he feels guilty, so he gives them his lodging or the lodge as like a hey, sorry. Also, you don't have to pay rent kind of thing. Because I doubt he would just give them the lodge. He would be like, hey, I don't know, get an extra blanket or whatever.
Yeah, he must owe them something.
Yeah, so I got to figure he has a little soft spot. He's like, oh, sorry about that. I should have changed the pipes yesterday. Or however heat works. I don't know. I live in Florida. It's always hot. So it's always hot. So perhaps he helps him out that way. That's how I got to figure they get there. But do you have a better idea?
It could be someone crashing the power line if it's icy. That does work, and it's simple. They could just say it in passing, and it'd be like, oh, that's enough.
Then I got to figure why does Bob or why did the Belchers get the lodge and not everybody else in the town? Like I'm sure Mort's power goes out. I'm sure
and
Teddy's and Pesto and
so it's got to be something where he feels bad.
Eludes me, or do I need to have some sort of is reply a function that eludes me? I'm not sure what you mean there, Bob. You replied. You mean like to a specific person? I think if you just write at and then that, I think people are just doing that. I don't know if it's like an actual command. I think they're just putting like at the Bobist. Yeah, I think that's all that is.
But yeah, I think for us, I'm curious what makes Calvin give him the place. But he's had a soft spot in the past, especially for Bob.
Do they even have room outside of the building for a generator? I got to think in the back. There's a lot of room in the back.
In the back, maybe.
Yeah, around the corner, or maybe
Mhm.
next to the dump thing. Gene, hello, Journey 2. Chelsea's laughed at something. I assumed it was something I said. We'll say so. Julian, oh, okay, you're right. Into Yahoo. Okay, yeah.
Wonder if it was Calvin who maybe crashed into the power pole.
Ooh. But then again, that would knock out everybody's power. It wouldn't just knock out just
Or is
Bob's.
it the wharf? Maybe something at the wharf.
Would it expand on that?
I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe something happened at the wharf which caused the power outage.
But then again, why would just Bob get it?
Uh,
And perhaps I'm thinking way too deep into this. Maybe we'll just say Mort's away for the weekend. The Pestos are with their mom, and everybody else has power. Maybe I'm just
Yeah.
thinking too much into it. It's a cartoon. But yeah, I
we won't
am
know.
curious. I do. Oh no. Okay, so I was gonna say maybe Fish Odor hooked them up as like a gift, but clearly you said the power's out. So
Power is out.
I would like to. I wish I hadn't squished that fish. That this turned into like a Christmas Carol kind of story where they go to the house. Calvin just invites himself to stay, and he like regales them with a Christmas story. Um,
He could find maybe there's an abandoned liquor cabinet that he finds. Or is there a hidden room perhaps in this cabin?
Chelsea was putting me on my place. She says the Pestos don't live at the restaurant like the Belchers do.
Yep, they
Fair enough.
don't.
Fair enough.
Mort does live above. He does live
Or
above.
lives above. Okay. It's
But
clear that Chelsea
maybe he
also
is on
watches the show.
Oh, but Mort doesn't celebrate Christmas, I don't think.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe him and his mom leave. Like Teddy and his mom leave a lot.
K.R. Majors, hopefully I pronounced that right, or Kerr Majors, says maybe a wager between Calvin and Bob. Perhaps, but then again, the power gets knocked out. So that's the part that's throwing me for a loop-de-loop. So yeah. I don't know. We'll find out in 5, 6, 7 days. I don't know,
Is this
week.
when Bob's Burgers does their retelling of A Christmas Carol? And
I would
Mr. Fish Odor?
love that.
Yeah. Mr. Fish Odor is the ghost of Christmas past.
Would not be surprised if Grover does get mentioned in the episode, though. Again, it won't be the last we'll see of him since, spoilers, he's in jail. He's in jail for a while.
No. Do we get a Fanny? Do we get Fanny just maybe brought up in this episode?
I would like to see Felix again.
Yeah, Felix is.
Fun.
I'm hoping Felix is involved in this in some way.
I got to figure if you had a Fish Odor location, that at the very least they'd both be there. But I don't know.
Even if it's just him being like, I've never seen inside. I've never been allowed in.
I would love it. And this is my own scenario: is or Calvin giving them the place to stay because they know they need a place to stay, and we just see like Felix walk by in like a long shirt and like a little nightcap, walk by with like a glass of milk. He was like, "Oh, you're here tonight," and then just kind of shuffling up the stairs wherever he's hiding out. Sorry, we're bouncing back between the comments here.
Yeah, it's a little. But yeah, we'll have to see. This one I'm excited for. This is our first holiday episode of the season.
And potentially only holiday episode. So
potentially.
People enjoy it. Stop being difficult. I highly doubt the Fish Odor will be the Scrooge to this story.
No, I actually think Bob would be.
Yeah, if he's being he's being a jerk about the whole thing, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, you could sneak in Grover as the last one if Christmas is yet to come.
Oh no, I was gonna say the kids could play the role of the three ghosts.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
But what would Linda play? Because Tina could definitely be a Tiny Tim.
Just give me a Tiny Tim. Either that or a Crowley. I would think. Mr. Crowley.
Unless Cratchit, you mean?
Cratchit, sorry, Mr. Cratchit.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, the only Christmas story I've seen is the Muppet Christmas
Muppet
Carol.
Christmas
So that's
It's the only one you need to see.
all day.
I will definitely stand on that hill.
Yeah, followed by Muppet Treasure Island or whatever
Yep.
it's called with
A holiday classic.
Timothy Curry.
Did you hear about that? So when both actors were asked, how did they approach those roles?
Oh,
Tim
okay,
Curry
yeah.
said, I literally got to be a Muppet, so I just acted like a Muppet as a human.
Tim Curry's
And
the best.
Michael Caine was just like, I saw them as fellow actors, so I treated them as actors. And I was like, of course, that's why the films turned out so well.
Both correct answers.
Both were correct. In the
I
way
need
you approached.
to. So for those you don't know, Tim
Also,
Curry.
real quick, did you see Tim's? Speaking of Tim's posts about going to the Muppets and meeting
Oh,
Brian
Tim Drake.
Johnson?
Yes,
Drake.
yes.
That was so rad today. I was
Yeah.
like, that's so cool.
But yeah, Tim Curry. He had a stroke a couple years ago, so he's there, but it's a little rougher these days. And he does autograph signings through the mail. So
Yeah.
I need to. This is all unrelated, of course. I need to get him
your Rocky Horror.
my Rocky Horror vinyl because I already have like 3 cast members have already signed it. Obviously, I can't get Meatloaf, but I need to get Tim Curry and I need to get Susan Sarandon. So that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I got it.
And also, if you didn't know, I think one of the last voices that Tim Curry has done for any animation is in Over the Garden Wall. He's Auntie Whispers. You wouldn't know it, but it's him.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't have.
Mike won't know it. He's never watched it.
I don't even know what that show is. Yeah, Chelsea. He had one, and he's doing as well as he can. He's still got his functions about him. He's still doing autograph signings, but he's not doing anything in person.
Oh, Abby wants to know who'd you get.
Who did you get? Oh, I got Barry Bostwick, who plays Brad. And then I got the I can't remember their names. The lady who does the tap dancing, she has the top hat, she has a rainbow corset. Her, and then the maid. So
Yeah.
they were at a con that I went to, and I got pictures. That was the year I dressed up as Tina, so I have a photo with each of them, and I'm wearing the whole get up minus the wig because it was itchy. So it's just me dressed as Tina with the skirt and the shirt and the socks and the shoes, and then me and Barry Bostwick, and then the other 2. Yeah, slay, Abby! Slay. And for those of you who know who Meg Turney is, she's a gamer, model, whatever. She said, my Tina was pretty cool. So, pew pew.
Yeah, Delta Burke.
But yeah, maybe I'll post a photo of that, which really wouldn't make sense because we're not a Rocky Horror. I love Rocky Horror. JB, anything else to add before we wrap this bad boy up?
It's a good question.
I have one thing, but I'll let you take the reins here.
I know we had talked about possibly doing giveaway for Christmas, maybe one.
We'll
see. If not, it might be a New Year's thing. But maybe we'll make a post and see what people are thinking. And both may not be an answer, but it might be.
Yeah, maybe not. The problem with doing a Christmas one is shipping.
Mail.
Yeah, mail times. You may not get it there. Let's see, Bobus. I was thinking of OG cosplaying as Daryl when I go to another convention. I've only cosplayed once. Well, twice. We did the thing for the premiere, but I don't really count that because that's just a vest. But
some of us were more in character.
I do plan on doing something for the fan meetup at Comic-Con next year. So
yeah,
we'll see. Whatever it is, it's going to be sexy. So,
but tasteful.
Sexy.
The
only thing,
big old sexy boy.
The only thing we really do have to announce is our final trivia of the year is going to be Bob's Burgers Trivia. It's going to be on December 18th, which is not next Monday, but the Monday after, I think. Look at your calendars, figure it out. It's going to be Christmas themed. All questions will be covering all the Christmas episodes of Bob's Burgers, potentially to include next week's episode.
Yep. was about to say we probably won't include it. So
Yeah, if it's
uh,
there, we'll
on
definitely.
that, it'll have all the old ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be playing teams again. So again, we'll figure out if who's going to be on Instagram, who's going to be on YouTube. But
Yeah,
we
we'll
will
see how
go
much you
ahead
guys
and-
actually like me or JB, because I've been on Instagram. Not a lot of you have shown up. JB's been on YouTube, and more people have showed up there. So
Well, I mean, we don't have to play favorites, Mike. It's
maybe
more about-
we'll switch it up.
Maybe we'll see.
See who you jerks really like. Yeah. But December 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern, on Instagram Live and YouTube Live. Per the normal rule, us will be team Instagram, the other one will be team YouTube, and you get to choose which team you'd like to be on. And you get to help us answer these insanely hard questions. Because if you've played trivia with us before, you know we don't muck around and we like to make it as hard as possible. So come hang out. Don't play both sides of the fence like people have been doing these last couple of weeks. Be brave. Stand by your team. Chelsea's come over to Team Mike. I know you already whatever side I'm on, just come hang out. Mox, I need you too. You can have everybody else.
That's fine. I'll take them.
That's fine.
They were all great. K-Rod was great. I owe them.
She's not here. Yeah, Abby and I are never going to speak again.
No, Abby was great too.
Oh yeah, Abby's great, but she's Team JB and Chelsea's is Team Mike, so we gotta
And I guess last bit of news is I did look into the oven mitt, so we'll see.
Okay. Bob said I'm going to be scrutinizing over the next week. Okay.
Is that pretty much it?
I think that's it. Oh. I'm not playing telephone here, but Chelsea's Abby says that she misses you. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Tell YouTube to go hit the bricks. Before we get out of here, on behalf of myself and JB, we want to give a special shout out to Adam.
Yep.
Hope you're doing well, bud. Whenever you may see this, hope you're doing well, and we can't wait to have you back with us. Hopefully for next trivia. So.
Yep, Zen Master Flash had a little bit of a procedure done today. Everything went A-okay. So. And interestingly enough, the boy was craving a burger after he woke up. So good for him.
But yeah, if you're the praying type, send a special shout out to our boy. If you're the well-wisher type, sell some well wishes. If you're a good vibes type, do that. If you're a crystals type, one of these, rubber rock, whatever you need to do. But yeah. Out to our friend Adam there.
Just wanted to say that tonight's episode is again.
Oh Jesus!
What I Like About You Lollipops, located on Ocean Avenue next to Bob's Burgers, and it's a wonderful place to get candy. It's good for the kids. I know the Belchers love it, and you're gonna love it too. So again, the What I Like About You Lollipops, it's one of a million. Hopefully you guys can get it before they're sold out.
Yes. So, on behalf of JB and myself, this has been From the Great North to Wonder Wharf, your one-stop destination for bento box information. We will see you next week, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, where we will talk about new episodes and whatever else may be coming down. Hopefully, some new information on the Great North Season 4, Grimsburg stuff. Anything. So until then,
and
good night, everybody.
We don't have an episode to review, so we'll see if maybe we can get someone on.
We don't have an episode next week?
Nope.
Oh, Chelsea says she loves the sponsor bit.
No problem. I'm gonna beat that till it's definitely gone.
You know what's stupid about it is I was the one who presented the idea, and I can never remember. I was like, JB, what are you doing? I was like, JB pays attention. So
I do.
All right. So then next week will be a surprise for everybody, to include myself.
We'll figure it out.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, all.